Hi guys, I just want to talk to you there about testing batteries, okay? Just the first thing there, before you go testing your batteries, to make sure that your battery connections are here are good and clean. I just want to show you a tool that we have here for that. So this is just basically a wire brush. So basically there's one side for a negative connection, one side for positive connection, and you have this male end here for doing the female connections and the battery connectors on the vehicle, okay? So it's always good to make sure you have them good and clean. Now also the top of the battery here should be spotlessly clean as well, okay? You don't want any dirt like you see here on this battery. That needs to be spotless, because what happens is this gets damp and eventually a small amount of current can actually travel across the battery and cause a bit of self-discharge, okay? So again, they should be spotlessly clean, okay? If there's any growth on these battery connections, what you can do is you can get some baking soda and water, basically mix it into a jar, and using a bit of a paintbrush like this, you can just brush that onto the battery connections, and that will neutralize the growth on the battery connections and prevent them getting, I suppose, becoming damaged over time, okay? So again, it's handy to have a jar of that for yourselves at hand, and just a bit of a brush there then to apply it as well. And that's also good as well for neutralizing the acid, if there's any acid leaks. Always make sure your battery is in good condition when you come to do a visual inspection. Make sure there's no cracks, no bulges on the side of the battery. Make sure there's no signs of leaks. If there is, well then that battery has to be disposed of, okay? Now, just when it comes to testing a battery, we'll just show you a couple of different techniques here, okay? So the simplest test of a battery is just get your multimeter, and we'll just check what's called the no load voltage. What we mean by no load voltage is we test the voltage of the battery when it's not under any load, okay? So if a battery is fully charged, it should be at minimum 12.6 volts, okay? So we always say, rule of thumb, 12.5 volts, and the battery should be in a good state of health. Now that just tells you about the battery voltage. You could still have a dead cell that when you put that battery under load, that the battery might fail. But look, it's a good rule of thumb test, and it's a quick test, and it just gives you a bit of an indicator of how good or bad that battery is, okay? So this battery here is reading 12.56, which is really close to 12.6 volts. So that battery is just about fully charged, okay? So that battery has been actually sitting here now for about 6 weeks after being charged, and it's still holding that, okay? Just to go to another battery for a second, this battery here, which I know is faulty, okay? So we took this out of that Ford Focus there, maybe just before Christmas. So we'll put the voltmeter across this and check its no load voltage. And here we can see we have a no load voltage of, sorry, there's a glare, 5.01 volts, okay, all right? So that's one test, no load voltage. The other test that we will be doing here is using the electronic battery tester. So this is a Meditronics unit. So this is a conductance tester, okay? So I'm just going to hook this up now and I'll show you how it works, hopefully. Let's move this out of the way. Now, so we get our conductance tester. So we'll connect this up. So we put on the positive lead. So I know this is difficult to do with one hand. Put on the negative lead. Okay. So hopefully you can see this, okay? This is Meditronics. It comes with a printer as well. So first of all, it tells me the no load voltage. In this case, it's 12.52 volts. We press enter to continue. Okay, now it's asking us a question, is the battery still fitted to the vehicle or is it out of the vehicle? So here we can see it's out of the vehicle. We press enter again. What type of battery is it? So our options here are a regular battery, a gel battery, absorbent glass mat battery, or we're back to regular again. So this is just a standard regular lead acid battery, okay? So I select enter. Now we're looking at the standard, okay? So this is the standard for the cold cranking current. And the standard in this battery here, if you can see it, it's a SAE 360. So it's a 360 amp battery. And it's the SAE, the Society of Automotive Engineers. So we'll see if we can find that there on our options list. So EN, IEC, SAE. So we go with SAE. Some batteries you'll find as well will be DIN, which is German standard. Okay, so SAE, hit enter. And it's, what did we say? It's actually 360. So we change this to 360. All right, and we hit enter. So now it's carrying out a test of the battery. And it's come back with a good battery, and we can press print. We can print this off, and it's come back saying that this battery still has 359 amps, which isn't far off what the battery is actually rated at. Okay, press print. Perfect. So that's a good battery. All right. Now what I'll do now, we'll move on to this battery that we know isn't good. I'll connect it on here. Here as well. And let's have a look. Okay, so this battery here is 700 amps, and it's SAE as well. Okay, so let's have a look. 700. It's saying to wiggle the clamps. Regular, SAE, and 700. And press enter. So it's telling us to charge and retest. Okay, charge and retest. Now, I actually thought it would come back with that battery and tell us that there was actually a faulty cell nut, or to replace the battery. I'm surprised it's telling us with that battery here to charge and retest. Okay, I've charged that multiple times and the voltage goes down over a couple of hours, it goes back down again. Now, so they're the two popular tests that we do at the moment, is the no load voltage and using the electronic battery tester. A couple of the outdated battery testers that you might still have in your garage, but technically they're not really used anymore. These two here are the high rate discharge testers. So they basically test the battery's voltage when it's under heavy load. Heavy load such as a starter motor. So basically what you have is a low value resistive element inside in this unit. So it draws a lot of current out of the battery, and you have like a scale on it as well. So what we're looking at here really is for a 12 volt battery, we're looking at something maybe around that over 15 seconds that it doesn't go below 9.5 volts. Okay, and this is the old type here as well. So this is another type. Again, they're not really used that much anymore. You might still have them in the garage. Okay. Right, so that's battery testing. I'll probably do another video later on using the hydrometers. Okay, so we'll come back to that later on.